Hey there, time travelers and history enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of time travel, exploring mysterious incidents that, if true, suggest that time travel might just be more than science fiction. Let's embark on this mind-bending journey together. The time-traveling hipster. Our first story takes us to the time-traveling hipster incident is an urban legend that refers to a black and white photograph taken in 1941 that appears to show a man dressed in modern clothing and sunglasses. The man is standing in a crowd of people who are all dressed in 1940s clothing, and he is holding what looks like a small portable camera. The photograph was taken at the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in Gold Bridge, British Columbia, Canada. The man in the photograph has been dubbed the time-traveling hipster by some people. However, there is no evidence to support the claim that the man in the photograph is a time traveler. The items he is wearing were all available in 1941, and the camera he is holding is a Kodak Brownie Hawkeye, which was a popular camera in the early 1940s. It is more likely that the man in the photograph is simply a fashion-forward individual who was ahead of his time. Or, it could be that the photograph has been doctored to make it look like the man is wearing modern clothing. Ultimately, there is no way to know for sure whether or not the time-traveling hipster incident is real. The photograph is ambiguous, and there is no hard evidence to support either side of the argument. The mysterious H.G. Wells. Did H.G. Wells, the author of The Time Machine, possess a deeper knowledge of time travel? There is no known incident of H.G. Wells traveling through time. Wells was a science fiction author who wrote about time travel in his novels, but there is no evidence that he ever tried to build a time machine or actually traveled through time himself. The claim that Wells traveled through time is based on a 1938 interview in which he said that he had a curious experience that made him believe in the possibility of time travel. However, Wells did not elaborate on this experience, and there is no other evidence to support it. Some people believe that Wells was simply joking in the interview, or that he was referring to a dream or a work of fiction. Others believe that he was telling the truth and that he had somehow experienced time travel. Ultimately, there is no way to know for sure whether or not Wells traveled through time. The claim is based on speculation and conjecture, and there is no hard evidence to support it. The Cell Phone Woman. In 2018, a video surfaced on YouTube that appeared to show a woman talking on a cell phone in 1938. The video was taken at a DuPont factory in New Jersey, and the woman can be seen walking through a crowd of people while holding the device to her ear. The video quickly went viral, and many people were convinced that it was proof of time travel. However, there is a more likely explanation. In 1938, DuPont was developing a wireless telephone system, and it is possible that the woman in the video was one of the test subjects. The device she is holding is not a cell phone, but a prototype of a wireless telephone. In 2020, a YouTube user named Gertrude Jones 1921 came forward and claimed that the woman in the video was their great-grandmother, Gertrude Jones. They said that Gertrude was working as a test subject for the wireless telephone system and that she was indeed holding one of the devices in the video. Gertrude Jones 1921 also provided a link to an article from the DuPont company newsletter that corroborates their story. The article, which was published in 1938, describes the development of the wireless telephone system and mentions that 5 women were selected to test the devices. While there is no way to be 100% sure what the woman in the video is holding, the most likely explanation is that it is a prototype of a wireless telephone. There is no evidence to support the claim that it is a cell phone, and the story of Gertrude Jones provides a plausible explanation for the video. Time-traveling airman. The story goes that a British Royal Air Force, RAF, pilot, Sir Victor Goddard, was flying over Scotland when he saw a World War I-era airfield below him. He claimed that the airfield was full of biplanes and other aircraft from the early 20th century. Goddard reported the incident to his superiors, but they dismissed it as a hallucination. However, Goddard was adamant that he had seen what he saw, and he even drew a diagram of the airfield. The time-traveling airman incident has been the Subject of much speculation and debate. Some people believe that Goddard was telling the truth and that he had somehow traveled back in time. Others believe that he was mistaken, or that he was making up the story. There is no evidence to support the claim that Goddard actually saw a World War I-era airfield in 1939. However, the story remains a popular urban legend, and it continues to capture the imagination of people who are interested in the possibility of time travel. Despite the lack of evidence, the time-traveling airman incident remains a popular urban legend. It has been featured in several books and documentaries, and it has been the subject of much debate and speculation. The time-traveling car. The story goes that in 1969, a man was walking down an alleyway in New York City when he saw a car parked between two buildings. The car was a 1969 model, and it was completely out of place in the alleyway, which was full of old buildings. The man was curious, so he went to take a closer look at the car. As he got closer, he saw that the car was empty. There was no driver, and there were no signs of any kind of accident. The man was confused, and he didn't know what to make of the car. He decided to go and get help, and when he returned, the car was gone. The man reported the incident to the police, but they were unable to find any evidence to support his story. The car was never seen again, and the incident remains a mystery. There are a few possible explanations for the time-traveling car incident. One possibility is that the car was actually a time machine, and it had somehow malfunctioned. Another possibility is that the car was a hoax, and it was created by someone who wanted to make people believe in time travel. Whatever the explanation, the time-traveling car incident is a fascinating story that has captured the imagination of people for many years. It is a story about the possibilities of time travel, and it raises questions about the nature of reality. It is important to note that there is no evidence to support the claim that this incident actually happened. It is possible that the story is just an urban legend. And there you have it, fellow time travelers. Are these stories just urban legends, or is there more to the concept of time travel than we can comprehend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. For more mind-bending journeys through history, stay tuned for part 2.